Isaiah Thomas is now a Los Angeles Laker and made his debut for the Los Angeles Lakers on Friday. And today we're going to be talking about why this Los Angeles Lakers team could be a story like the 2015 Boston Celtics. After Isaiah Thomas was traded there, they looked like a rebuilding team and they made a playoff push and made the playoffs. What's good, YouTube? My name's Crush. Let's go ahead and jump right into this and subscribe if you're new. Let's go. Now that Isaiah Thomas has gone off the Cleveland Cavaliers, it's clear his story is now with the Los Angeles Lakers. When we first heard that Isaiah Thomas traded to the Lakers, our first impression was, is he going to be okay with coming off the bench for Lonzo Ball? Because we all know Isaiah Thomas's ego is pretty good ever since his MVP caliber season with the Boston Celtics. But it looks like to me that Isaiah Thomas has opened up a role off the bench, as he was in an interview and said he would love to start and all, but whatever the Lakers want me to do, I'm cool with doing. And Luke Walton and Magic Johnson had plenty of things to say about Isaiah Thomas as well. Plenty of positive things. And Luke Walton even said that Isaiah Thomas was really mature, really grown up in their meeting. Magic Johnson said it doesn't matter about starting. It matters how much minutes he's going to play, and he's going to play a ton of minutes for us. So Isaiah Thomas could potentially be coming off the bench for the Lakers this whole season. But he's going to be playing a lot of minutes, it sounds like. And that has to sound good for Isaiah Thomas. Think back to when Isaiah Thomas was traded in the 2014-2015 season to the Boston Celtics. The Boston Celtics around that time kind of looked like they were kind of a rebuild team, rebuild mode, rebuild now kind of mode. After making a huge trade, they were still reaping the benefits of trading Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce away. And this team was still in rebuild mode. But when they traded for Isaiah Thomas came there and played off the bench for Marcus Smart. If you remember that correctly, first, Isaiah Thomas was coming off the bench for Marcus Smart that whole rest of the season for the Boston Celtics. It was interesting because we all thought Isaiah Thomas should start over Marcus Smart, but the Celtics kept Isaiah Thomas off the bench. And the Celtics, like I said, were kind of a rebuild team right then. But when Isaiah Thomas came to the team, they made the playoffs. They made a playoff push and made the playoffs. And Isaiah Thomas even said that the Lakers team that he was just traded to kind of reminds him of when he was traded to the Celtics and they were just a rebuild team. And they made a push to the playoffs and eventually made it. And they were even the 7th seed. And they went 40-42 that season. Now, granted, that was the Eastern Conference, which was a little bit weak that season. I mean, I believe the 37-42 Brooklyn Nets made the playoffs that year. So it was pretty weak Eastern Conference. But if you look at the standings right now, after the 11th seed, there's probably no teams that are going to make the playoffs. Memphis, Dallas, Phoenix, and Sacramento are probably all out. You could potentially say that Los Angeles does have a chance. They're actually only 6 games back as of right now. And it's actually kind of interesting because if the Lakers could make the playoffs this season, will LeVar Ball be right? You know, LeVar Ball made these crazy predictions that said the Los Angeles Lakers could make the playoffs. If the Lakers did make it, I believe that it could only be the 8th seed. But I could potentially see the Lakers making the playoffs now just because of all the talent they have on their team, added with Isaiah Thomas. Of course, Lonzo Ball needs to get healthy. Start, and then Isaiah Thomas could come off the bench for him, provide that scoring. I think this Lakers team could be pretty darn good and a lot more better than we think they could. As soon as Lonzo Ball does become healthy, this team's going to look pretty darn good in my opinion. As soon as Isaiah Thomas and Lonzo Ball get some chemistry together, you know, they're probably going to play some minutes together. But Isaiah Thomas will probably come off the bench for the rest of the season. That is my prediction anyway. I don't think Lakers would start Isaiah Thomas and Lonzo Ball together. I just don't think it makes a ton of sense. As far as defense and Isaiah Thomas, I don't know if they want to move Lonzo Ball to the shooting guard. I guess they could potentially do that, but I don't know. I don't think it would work. So Luke Walton and Magic Johnson need to come up with a game plan that have Isaiah Thomas come off the bench for the rest of the season behind Lonzo Ball. And I think this team could be pretty damn good. I think they could make the playoffs potentially. I know as far as a stretch that sounds, we're talking about the Lakers making the playoffs. That hasn't happened in a very, very long time. But I could potentially see it coming this season because if you think about it, I think this Lakers team has a lot more talent than that 2015 Boston Celtics team did have. They had guys like Evan Turner, Marcus Smart. I think the Los Angeles Lakers this season have a lot more talent than that team did. It's just a matter, can they come out of the Western Conference in the playoffs? League Pass has honestly been a blessing for me this season. It has been so fun to watch these NBA games. And when Isaiah Thomas was on League Pass in his Lakers debut, I'm like, why not? I got nothing better to do. I'm going to watch Isaiah Thomas in his Lakers debut. And he played pretty dang well. And I'm not gonna lie to you, watching Isaiah Thomas, it looked like the old Isaiah Thomas we used to watch when he played with the Boston Celtics. He scored 22 points and 6 assists, and he came off the bench for the Los Angeles Lakers. He played really, really well. I mean, as far as defense, obviously Isaiah Thomas is just not a great defender and never will be, but he did do his scoring, which the Lakers do need. If Isaiah Thomas can consistently come off the bench, score 20 to 30 points, I don't see why this Lakers team can't benefit from Isaiah Thomas's scoring and then Lonzo Ball's playmaking in the backcourt, and why this team can't make a playoff surge and potentially make the playoffs this season. It's going to have to become behind Isaiah Thomas's scoring and Lonzo Ball's playmaking. Julius Randle is still playing pretty well for the Lakers. Kyle Kuzma is playing well. Brandon Ingram's playing well. I don't see why this team can't make it. I mean, KCP brings the defense on at the shooting guard position. This team should easily be able to make the playoffs potentially, and I don't see why it can't happen. But let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think I'm crazy? But that's it for me, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you guys think of this Lakers team. Do you think they have any chance of making the playoffs this season? And thank you guys so much for watching. It just means the whole world to me. You guys continue to support me. Subscribe if you're new here. I would love to have you on the channel. This is Crushables, and I'm saying peace.